In today's buzz, you may see flowers? Well, spring is just a store away. Outside it looks and feels like winter, but inside the old company store, Skip Waite carves us a different picture. So what are we going to be doing today?
Well, I'm going to make some of these gypsy flowers today. I went out in the woods yesterday and did some foraging. They got some nice green sticks.
You're telling me those sticks are going to turn to those flowers?
Those sticks are those flowers.
Well,
here we are. I'm sitting on my 15th century draw pony, getting ready to do some gypsy flowers from the sticks that I gathered yesterday out in the forest. And I've already cut them into different pieces lengthwise, and we're going to do small flower, medium flower, bigger flower. Here you can see the diameters. And these medium and small ones I do by hand. The larger ones I'll be using the draw pony, so I'll get to show you how that works. I'm going to cheat now and use a modern day device. And I got to drill a hole in here. And once I drill the hole, we'll make a flower. That wasn't hard. For years now.
so what exactly are gypsy flowers?
Okay, gypsy flowers started back 300-400 years ago. And the gypsies from Romania would travel constantly. And when they got to a village, they'd camp just outside of it. They'd go gather sticks like I did yesterday in the woods. They would make these flowers at night. Then the next day, they'd sell the flowers to the ladies in the village. That's one of the ways that they made an income. This is shaping the wood the same as you would if you were just whittling. The difference is I'm not going all the way down. I'm leaving about a 1/4 inch or so, if you can see it. And what I'm doing, I'm making the petals for a flower. And this is very, very green wood. And I can really shape this the way I want to shape it. And as you can see, it's the beginning of a flower.
What are the most important steps to making the gypsy flowers?
You know, there is no... the biggest thing is to remember to drill a hole first. Boy, it's a heck of a job to try to hold on to this thing and drill a hole later. You know, unless you got a Dremel or something electric. You know?
Yes.
And I do it by hand. So I would say the different strokes of the knife that give you the different looks is what takes a little time to learn how to do. None of it is difficult. I call it fun because it's what I like to do. Now usually I like to put a little center in the center, which I will do with my knife. Just take a couple of big cuts in it.
Now, do you have to know what type of flower you're going to make in order to know which steps?
I have no idea.
Okay.
My flowers are mythical make-believe flowers.
Just like the birds?
Just like the birds. And sometimes people say, oh, that looks like a daisy. Okay, it's a daisy. You know? All right, there's my mythical little flower with my little center in it. So that's been done. And I am now going to make the stem. Not difficult. I'll take my trusty.
What are the tools that you're going to be using?
I will be using a shaver, a spoke shaver, my little hand knife, and a spray bottle for my food coloring that I use for the colored flowers. And that's really about it. A pair of clippers, a saw maybe for bigger pieces.
Now, when you were making the fan birds,
yeah,
you said that you had to use a specific type of wood.
Yes.
Now, are the rules the same when you're making gypsy flowers?
Totally different.
Okay.
You can use any green wood at all. I've used forsythia, lilac, holly, oak.
Does it have to have a certain content of moisture?
Yes. Yeah. It really should be extremely wet. You can do it with drier woods, but drier woods give you a very unfriendly looking petal, I think. I can manipulate these petals and make them really pretty, and you can't really do that with the dry wood. So I really prefer the wetter the better. Flower. Now, I'm just going to take a little. Got a yellow flower. There's one flower. Done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the next size flower. We got a hole. Now, what I'm going to do here is a different flower. Same stick. I want to use the same knife. But watch what I do. We're skinning off the bark. This can be an awful lot of fun. So here is I'm making a shot petal first. And the shot petal is I'm going to use it as a stop so I don't go too far when I'm shaving longer pieces, which I'll show you in a minute because that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, see it's so wet, I can actually bend those. They won't fall off. I got them bent. Now, I'm going to hold it like this and take that ridge that I just made a minute ago and go down on the ridge. See how it has to stop there at the petals? I want to make myself a little spider mum. You watch. Now, what do you think of that?
That is beautiful.
Just a different technique, that's all. I'm doing the same carving with the same knife, taking longer strokes and kind of curling them a little bit because of the different stroke. That's what does it. Little bouquet. So that's two different approaches with the smaller stick. Now we'll go to the medium stick. And the first thing you need to do is inspect the stick for knots. If you have knots in it, it's pretty tough to scrape.
You're on.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, I got this stick. Move those other sticks. We're going to use our machine here, our 15th century draw pony. All right, so we put that right down here. And what that does is it brings this up, so now I can hold something in there so I can work on it. Knife. This is a draw knife. I've got a bunch of them here, all different ones. This one here works extremely well for making this particular flower. So the first thing I want to do here, see how I can hold on to that? My feet are pinching that. And I'm stripping off the back. All right, now, as a kid I used to love the butterfly bushes and watching the butterflies in the summer on the butterfly bushes. So I thought what I should do, I should learn how to make a butterfly blossom, which is a pretty cool looking little thing. You see how the technique is changing? Mm-hmm. You get the curl that I want. Done.
Oh, until it breaks off?
Yeah. Now I'm going to fluff it a little bit, because I like to. And see, there's the little stick. And there's the flower. Now, let's put this in here. Yeah, I did it. Let's take the... What do you mean you can't make a flower? Okay, I got the larger stick. And as you can see, it's not very straight, so I'm going to have a little trouble here trying to turn it, but we'll make it work. We'll put it in our trusty draw pony. And what's the very first thing I do?
You'll drill a hole.
Absolutely. Don't forget to drill the hole. You can do this with a jackknife if you knew how, if you want to practice it. I find it's much easier to do it with a draw knife. But a lot of the gypsies use their pocket knives to make their flowers. They didn't use a draw knife at all. And I'm going to take my knife I was using a minute ago, and I'm going to bring my workbench up here. And I'm now going to do this. Pretty nice center. Oh, nice center. I like that. I like that. All right, now I think we need to color it. I'm doing the back yellow. Some of it probably run into the front, see that? But the center is still white. Okay. Now, let's see how lucky I can be.
Perfect.
What do you think of that? Now, I have my little food coloring here with the lavender. I don't think this flower looks real enough yet. I want to make it look a little more real. Now, giving it a real center. How's it look now? I like that. Now, you know, those spider lilies have spotted things on them. So if you wanted to, you could actually make it look like a spotted lily. And you do that by doing what I'm doing now. I've done quite a bit as far as showing you the different techniques of making the flower. And now what I want to do is I'm going to show you how to make a plant. This is 4 little flowers and leaves, green on the bottom, variegated on the front, in a little pot. And it's just stuck in there on a piece of birch. The leaves are what I'm going to show you how to make. This is another one. This one here is just a bigger one. I made this one for my wife. It was my very first one that I made with leaves, and the leaves are made the same way as I make the birds, by riving the wood and then making individual petals. Then I'll attach them, which I'll show you how to do. And this one's not ever going to be for sale because my wife's keeping it. So I'm going to cut this piece of wood here, which will be the beginning of making my leaves. This is a piece of pine. It comes from the same pine that I make my birds with. It had 2 big knots in it, so I can't use it all for the birds. And I'm going to be cutting this off right here, and then I will form a leaf out of the wood, and then I'm going to write it for you, and I'm going to show you how to make a leaf out of a piece of wood. I have a chisel here that I'm going to use. Just getting out a form of a leaf is all I'm really doing. All right, now, what I'm doing, now, this curve and this curve, that's going to be the leaf. And this
Okay.
will be the stem for the leaf.
Uh-huh.
See it now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep shaving this down a little bit. And when I get through shaving it down, we'll be riving it. Okay, what I've got done here, I've shaped my leaf. I've put my vise on my draw pony. I'm going to take the vise, grab a good grip on the piece of wood, and I'm going to rive this to make the leaves. This is going to be kind of fun. I think you'll like it. My riving knife, spoke shaver, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to take it right down. This is called riving. Same as I do the
How you created the...
bird wings.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing now is I'm making feathers. Feathers, I'm making
Leaves.
leaves. Nice leaf, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Another nice leaf, I like that one. See how I can change the shape?
Yeah.
Because it's so wet. I want them to be tipped, but not too much. All right, here we are back again. And I've got my leaves hanging around here. They're still nice and wet, the way I want them. And I need to make the little stems that the leaves are going to go on. So we're going to take a piece of cherry that I've got here, and I'm going to cut some of these off, because these are going to be the leaves. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to strip the cherry back off of this cherry branch, but I'm not going to do it on the little stems that I have sticking out here. I'm going to leave them the way they are for right now. I'm going to use this, and I have fly tying scissors, little tiny scissors. And I have a fly tying thread holder. Okay, now what I've done is I've taken out some of my old tie flying tools when I used to tie my flies. This right here is what you put the cackle on a fly with. The string, there's the string, you can turn that, and it's threaded through this little pipe, and it's easy to twist the string around with that. So I'm using it to attach the leaves onto my sticks. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, very professional, we take this wonderful leaf, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it. And I want to put a little bit of glue on this, so they're together. I want to take this,
Tie them together.
and I want to tie this together. Remember, this is nice and wet.
Mm-hmm.
So, look. Form's perfect. See that? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this one. So I got my little scissors, folks. Perfect. Now I really like to tie this nicely, good and tight. When this dries, it'll be like cement. These will take about a day to completely dry, so you have plenty of time to work with it. There's your leaf. My string is right there, so I'll just put the string right in like that. There's my leaf. Not hard to do. Now what I'm going to do, look, if I put that right on here, then I'm going to have a leaf sticking just below the flower, which I think would be a nice place for a leaf. What do you think?
Very good.
All right, so I'll take a little glue. I want to put it right here. The reason I'm putting the glue here is in order to get the string started. My string is, I don't know if you guys can see this because it's so fine. It's really silk string. And believe me, it's there. I mean, you probably can't see it, but I can. As long as I can, that's what counts. And I'm getting that string into the glue, and all of a sudden it grabs. And now this other end, you can go around in the glue a couple times. Then I'll take my little scissors, and I'll cut that off because I don't need it anymore. Now, it won't do any harm. Put a little more glue on there. Okay. Now, what I've done here is I've got a good start. Now, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it here. Now, I'm going to go around it. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a little glue there. You getting the idea?
Yeah.
This is fun, and you'll really lose track of time doing this. Now look, I can move this, see? Put it right where I want it. Then we really lock it in and secure it with this silk tying thread. It just broke. That's all set now. There's one. Now I want to keep on going. Well, I don't know if I even need to. You can see what I just did.
Yeah.
I want to show you something that's really fun now that I've done that. The next thing you need to do, and I always do this now because this is the best time to do it. I take my little paintbrush and my crazy food coloring, which I just love food coloring because you can do so much with it and nobody seems to be allergic to it. And I'm going to take this leaf and let's make it look like a real leaf. How's that? Remember this one? We're going to take that, take it off of this stick, because they're all the same size. We'll put it on here. Now, how pretty would that look if I kept going and built myself a plant? That's how it's done. It was fun. I hope you enjoy it. We'll do something else in the near future. We'll have some more fun. We'll figure out something else. Have a great time. I got a lot of leaves to work on. I'll catch you later.
Thank you for watching The Buzz with me, your host, Queen Banda. Please tune in next time for more Buzz. Until then, keep warm.